Warning, the stories you're about to hear are detailed accounts of shenanigans, pranks, and some mistakes that are meant to replicate the sort of discussions that veterans have when they reunite over a cold beverage and do not depict the professional daily actions of the military at large. We hope to make you laugh, but not to disrespect our proud men and women in uniform. Listener discretion is advised. Welcome to Cammo Comedy, where we take a humorous look at the lighter side of military service. We got a big show for you today, but before we jump into it, if you like what we're doing here, give us a subscribe, give us a follow, whatever they call it on your podcasting platform. And while you're at it, give us a 5-star rating, write us a review, as that makes us more relevant in the algorithm and boosts the overall visibility of the show. But word-of-mouth advertising is just so powerful, so if you tell some friends, I will love you forever. Okay, let's jump into the show. I am your host, Aaron Wolf. Just as a friendly reminder to the audience, we put out a new show every single Monday, so make sure you give the notification bell a nice tap so you don't miss a show. Give it a nice tap. Also, we are doing laughter therapy here on the show. We got a lot of military members who struggle with everyday life after service, and we're just here to share a laugh and remember the good times. Joining me today is the man who taught me that when the lawyer says he'll do it pro bono, he is not trying to send me nudes. We had ourselves a little misunderstanding there. Call sign Footloose. Footloose, thanks for being on the show today, man.
Look, he said he'd do it for real cheap.
That wasn't a lawyer.
Well, I was looking forward to some nice nudes, you know. Like,
Was it some lady at a truck stop
it was a guy.
A lot lizard.
Yeah, that was a lot lizard.
It was a male lot lizard.
That was a male prostitute at the Buc-ee's.
At the Buc-ee's, man. We're getting highfalutin over here on the show.
The roller skates should have been a dead giveaway.
One rollerblade, one roller skate.
Oh, no. That's bad news.
3 rows of wheels.
Also joining the show today is Mr. Toss Winkle with the great ass, call sign Cheeks. Cheeks, thanks for being on the show today, man.
Toss Winkle.
Toss Winkle.
What the fuck is that even mean?
What does that mean?
Exactly.
You're just throwing syllables together now.
I was. And you fucking laughed, bitch. So
Toss Winkle.
I think it's a cross between like a toss salad and like a winking starfish.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess whenever I'm out tossing winkles, we should spread some cheeks and not hate.
Fucking A.
Wasn't that from Role Models when he talks about compliment her whispering eye?
Oh, yes. What? That's right, yeah.
I did not remember that. That's awesome.
It's like, it means butthole.
All right, you guys ready for my first story?
Yeah.
Let's get it.
All right. So this story takes place in the Middle East, right? It is not in a combat area. It's a place that you could go on vacation, right? And we have ourselves...
But the Air Force calls it a deployment, probably.
Maybe.
Same difference for us.
When I was in Afghanistan, I'm sorry to derail. When I first got to Afghanistan with the Air Force, the colonel who was in charge of us like brought us in on our team. She's like, "Who here's been deployed before?" And like 2 or 3 people raise their hand, and I raised my hand. And she's going down the line to the Air Force people, like, "Where did you go?" They're like, "Oh, I was in at the deed. I was at LUD.
I was in Guam.
And I was in Guam, like all these things." And she kind of like brushes it off, and then she looks at me. I was like, "Ma'am, I was here in Afghanistan with the Army. I was over blah 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 blah." She goes, "Okay, so Sergeant Cheeks over here has been deployed before, so if you guys have questions about this or this, ask him." Just
brutal.
blew off all the other.
It still counts.
So funny.
Nice. All right, so this is, we have a Navy guy, and they are on a very special mission, right? So they had to go out, they had to do a lot of embassy work, they had to do a lot of coordinating with local authorities and things of this nature, right? Now, it's also important to note that they had been briefed from their intel guys that there were some Middle Eastern spies that had interest in their movements and things like that. So just be cautious, right? Well, they have a mission one day where they have to go out and meet with some local liaisons and some public officials and stuff like that. There's one Navy E6, right? And he's the lead on this movement, right? So they get off the base. This guy drives like a fucking maniac the entire time, right? He's going like 90 miles an hour. Now, one of the things that was customary in this area is if you're coming up on somebody's ass end while you're driving, you just kind of flip your high beams a little bit, and it's customary. It's not being a dick over there. They just kind of bounce over to the other lane and let you just zoom right on by, right?
Here in the U.S., you just, drive 5 miles an hour under the speed limit in the left lane.
Exactly.
And then you're an asshole if you try to pass them.
So this guy, and they had tons of roundabouts where they were at, right? So this guy is literally doing like Tokyo Drift around the fucking roundabouts and just driving like a fucking dick. And people were in the vehicle, like that were newer to the mission, like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? This is getting kind of crazy in here, right? Like, he is driving like a complete fucking asshole. So they get to where they're going. Everybody kind of piles out. One of the more senior guys that was newer to the trip was like, hey, man, what the fuck was that? So he looks at him. He's like, listen, we've got intel here that says that we have spies that could be watching our movements and what they're going. So I'm going to drive like a fucking asshole so they stick out. Anybody that's following us, that's a spy. And you know exactly who they were. So it was kind of more tactical and brilliant than what people originally thought. They just thought he was like, maybe watched Fast and the Furious or something like that the night before and was like, hey, I'm going to live my best life going out here on the road.
Family.
So the other senior ranking guy just kind of bobs his head and be like, I like that. I like that.
Completely changed his mind.
So it's like, okay, well, let me get my pad and pen so we can get some of the details on these cars and we'll kick them upstairs. Anybody that's kind of going way too fast, drifting to try to keep up, that's the guy we got to watch out for. Brilliant.
Nobody was following them, was there?
Completely made up intel.
He just drives like an asshole.
This could be one of the most epic cover stories ever if he was able to pull that off. Maybe he did like the Fast and the Furious movies and was just like, you know what? I can get away with shit over here that I can't in the States. So fuck it. Yeah, you imagine like a guy racing home to go take a shit and it just so happened to be coincidentally behind these people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying.
Extreme rendition all of a sudden.
Yeah. So it's like when you're...
Why are you following us?
Yeah. Well, it's like when you're on a road trip, and I always call them my lint roller because they pick up the fuzz, whoever's speeding.
That's clever.
Nice.
Yeah, I get like behind them so that they're the one that gets picked up by the cops and not me.
We've called that send out the rabbit.
Yeah, that's another good one.
Foxes or something.
But that's what
Like
these...
the vibrator.
Exactly.
Your vibrator?
You guys don't call it the rabbit?
I don't have one.
Because it's very quick and fuzzy.
Is that what your wife calls your dick? It's cute, fuzzy, and quick.
It's more of a bunny.
Painless.
Hey, he doesn't need a muff toupee.
Tastes great in a stew.
Oh, God.
And it's
Lord.
lucky.
I feel lucky right now.
Oh, I'm going to start calling you call sign Playboy.
Oh.
Because your dick's a bunny.
Nice.
Not for the reasons you think.
Yeah, none of the positive reasons. Well, from there, I got a great one for you.
All right, what you got, man?
So, I don't know if you guys know this, but in the Army, they have people called combat engineers.
No shit.
Very different from the civil engineers of the Air Force.
These guys
crazy?
also are not engineers.
Isn't it crazy how that works out?
Yeah.
It's like one's more combat oriented. It's
Yeah.
weird.
But neither are engineers.
Key point.
A lot of sploding.
A lot of sploding.
Very good at making things go boom.
Yeah.
So I guess there were these guys on this deployment, these combat engineers, who had a very specific set of skills. So these particular combat engineers, this is a story from the 1980s.
Nice. Okay.
So it was a very different time back then, very different military climate, but they were very well known for having this specific set of skills. So they would go in and their job was to build a DFP, which is a defensive fighting position.
Yeah.
Which was very important, especially back then, where you would go somewhere that didn't have established like concrete towers or buildings or anything like that. You just kind of had to make your own defensible position from the land.
Gotcha.
So they would have to dig into the ground to kind of make it less
Fortified.
Yeah, fortified, more of a. So they use the ground as like a bullet sponge. So
Nice.
you're not taking as many rounds to your face. So these guys would dig it out and they would do a really good job. They'd make it very have high visibility so you can see out what you're doing. Basically introduce this is a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. Hang a chandelier from the ceiling.
Get the out of here.
These guys apparently were extremely talented.
So they were building DFPs for the Air Force.
Yeah. Essentially, yeah. The Army would defend it until the Air Force got there.
Yeah.
Then they'd leave.
Like, there's no room for our couches in here.
I need it bigger. So not everybody was this good at building DFPs. There's varying skill levels of this. Some people would just dig a shitty hole in the ground like, oh, there you go, that's your DFP. But these guys apparently made it.
We call those infantrymen. And we call those holes foxholes.
Either stand in it or shit in it. But these guys build it out really nicely, very spacious, had room for all your gear, could look around, be very comfortable, which is not generally the typical experience of having a DFP.
No shit.
The only downside to these guys who were master interior designers here,
No shit.
they charge with speeding and smoking the reefer.
Oh, get the fuck out of here. Well, it was the 80s.
Yeah. It was a different time, maybe not as harsh of a punishment. I'm sure it was still quote, quote, illegal, but maybe just kind of turned the other way when it happened. But it's happening so often that when the other troops would show up, like, oh my God, do you guys fucking smell that?
Yeah.
So they had, at one point it got bad enough, they had to go and approach the combat engineers and be like, hey guys,
Hey, man.
I don't know if there's a skunk problem or having some pest control issues here, but it just really has a particular smell every time you guys are done working around here.
Cut
so
the shit, bro.
happen to know anything about that.
Right.
You're doing great work. Keep it up. Just
That reminds me of this story. And don't quote me on this one because I haven't been able to verify how true it is. So check this out. It was said during, I think it was Desert Storm, that Air Force guys were notorious for leaving their defensive fighting positions, right?
what?
Now, it was specifically Air Force Security Police, right? So what would happen is if they ever had an attack or something like that, you had a follow-on force that'd be coming around like looking for casualties, and they'd see like a DFP blown out and all that kind of stuff, and they're just like, oh fuck, we had KIA. So you got the supervisor that's going in there with a clipboard. You've got a completely bombed out DFP, and the airman is in there perfectly fine, not a scratch on him. And they're like, hey, airman, you good, man? He's like, yeah. Looks like you took some heavy fire in here. I mean, everything's blown out, but there's not a scratch on you. So have you been here the whole time? He's like, yeah. So like they were kind of notorious for like leaving post, but sometimes like it happened to work out for the best because they'd take contact. Well, like the enemy would just see like, hey, there's a fighting position. We'd blow them up. So they're like, oh shit, my fighting position just blew up. I better get back.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
That DFP is more blown out than cheats after a furry convention.
Oh shit. Nice. But yeah, like so, and then like the enemy thinks like, okay, well they're gone.
Yeah.
And then
Any normal person is completely dead.
they're like, these fuckers are superhuman, man. Like you just can't kill them.
Yeah.
He's in there curled up in his sleeping bag.
Yeah.
What happened?
It's crazy.
Crazy, right?
That's fucking awesome. So I've got a Vietnam story.
Oh, welcome home. Thank you for your
Welcome home,
service.
boys. This is a naval
No shit.
Vietnam story.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to call this guy Seamus.
All right. What's up, Seamus?
Seamus was telling us that whenever you're in the Navy and you cross the equator, there's a ceremony.
Oh, yeah, I heard
Okay.
about this.
So if you've never crossed the equator in the Navy, you're considered a polywog.
Okay.
Is it the equator or the prime meridian?
There's two separate.
No shit.
Okay.
Yeah, so
I didn't
there's-
realize that.
Yeah, he was telling us there's two separates. I don't remember what you're called for the prime meridian, but for the
Okay.
equator specifically is where this story is.
Okay.
If you would just not interrupt me, I would. I would get.
I just wanted to immediately fact check your story like CNN. So
You were one to talk about interrupting stories.
name
Chase.
one time. Name one time.
Every
I've
we could
single
never
episode.
quote you of interrupting any story ever.
so no shit. There I was.
Okay.
So Seamus tells us that there's a ritual. Okay. And the first time that he had crossed the equator, he was a younger seaman and
Nice.
easy.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, he was. So
Was he hot?
scale from 1 to 10. So Seamus was saying that they had this ritual that they would go through, and the first thing on the list was that they would spray you with a fire hose with salt water.
What the fuck?
Oh, God.
Like they would just hose these bitches down with like riot control style.
You're just getting sandblasted on the deck?
That sucks.
And then after that, they sit there. Oh, there's more. There's so much more.
That was just the exfoliation.
Yeah. After that, they start whipping you with the fire hose.
Get the fuck out of here.
Fuck?
Well, it was the 70s.
Yeah.
It was like a lot more brutal time.
Right. This is old school.
Like, hey, guys, it's just tomfoolery.
What if your ball gag falls out?
Then you come.
Just want to whip you with the fire hose a little bit.
So after they whipped these guys with the fire hose, he went on to say that they had been collecting trash on the ship for like months.
Oh,
okay.
And I don't like where this is going.
So that not only were they collecting trash, but they took all the trash bags and they opened them all up, and it's gross, disgusting. But they also had a 30-foot tube, like what they would use in like a drainage ditch.
No shit.
Right? And they would fill the tube with garbages and then make them crawl through it.
Oh my, like Shawshank Redemption style?
Yes, it's exactly, yes.
When I say I want you in my trash hole, that's not what I mean.
Very confusing.
After they crawl through this 30-foot tube of garbage, they have to see the quote royal dentist.
Get the fuck
So they walk
outta
up
here.
to this royal dentist and they get Tabasco shoved down their throat.
So that wasn't even it. There was another step at the end of the shit tunnel.
There's more.
Oh my.
This is like Billy Mays, but wait, there's more.
Yeah. So after all of that, they had already found the fattest person on the ship, and they name him King Neptune.
Okay. God of the deep.
They give him a little crown and everything, right?
Get the fuck out of here.
They oil this dude up.
Of course.
So they get the fattest guy on the ship.
Are you gonna be?
They grease him up, and after you've done all of this labyrinth, you have to kiss his belly.
Oh, God.
I mean, at least your lips aren't going to be chapped.
Yeah.
It's just going to taste like grease.
Oh, fucking foul. So after you've completed this, you're now considered a shellback.
Okay.
So that's the new name you get. Well, Seamus was telling us, like, people don't know about this ritual until, like, day of. They're like, hey,
This is
bitch.
prior to the internet where you could research this
Yeah,
stuff.
Right.
Like,
Well, and so a couple days before he'd gone through this ritual, he was on the ship. They hit some rough waters, and a latch had fallen, had opened up and hit him in the leg. So he had to go to medical and like get checked out. It fucked him up.
Right.
Well, he gets a bunch of Valium from the medical people to help with his leg because he fucked it up, right?
Yeah.
Well, they show him the ritual like, this is what you're doing tomorrow, bitch. And he's like, oh, fuck this. Takes a couple of Valium, right?
Like fucking Pez.
Yeah, he's sitting there eating these Valiums. He's like, I'm not getting hurt today. So he's getting whipped with this fire hose. He's like, ow, stop it. Dang
So
it.
he didn't feel a thing.
He didn't feel a fucking thing, dude. And obviously he didn't give a shit about crawling through the garbage and kissing Neptune's belly because he was high.
I gotta say that's risky business though, because if you're not showing any kind of emotion or anything
gonna
like
hit
this,
you
like,
harder.
they're gonna be like, okay, we got to double down on this
Yeah.
guy. Oh, you think you're a tough guy?
Oh, you think you're better than me?
Exactly.
So he's getting the shit whipped out of him, and he doesn't feel a thing. So he said he had to like pretend like it hurt.
That is the best life hack that you can probably have, having to go through this fucking ritual in the 70s.
Yeah, so what do you get for it, you ask? You get a certificate and a little card saying you crossed the equator.
Nice. All that just to be able to say we crossed the equator.
Hey, Seamus said he still had it, though.
Yeah.
He said he still held on to it all these years.
I know that's a big thing for Navy. Like, obviously, like the more you've been around the planet,
Yeah.
you know, the more cred you can get.
Well, I know back in the day, too, different naval, like different tattoos you would get for seamen meant that you had done different things.
Nice. Kind of like they used to put stickers on people's luggage and things like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
And now tattoos are like permanent stickers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's a good thing they don't do hazing anymore in the military. That died with the old era of people.
Yeah, sure did. Quit being pussies!
So check out this next story. So this story takes place about 20 or so years ago, something like this. We have ourselves another Air Force story. And we have a nice young lady who was E2, ready to be promoted to E3. Okay? Very important to understand this. For those of you in the audience who might not know, E2 is very low on the enlisted structure. Same with E3. Like, you're pretty much bottom of the barrel at that point in time.
But her jaw's working up to the higher ranks.
She made E6 so fast.
Right? So the way this works is, in order to get promoted, you have to meet certain criteria. You have to be in for a certain amount of months or a certain amount of years. You have to pass certain tests, things of this nature, right? Well, it turns out that this young airman had some struggles in other areas. She had been in for the right amount of time. She had passed all the right amount of tests and everything like this. However, her higher-ups felt that she wasn't mature enough right now to be promoted exactly on time.
From fucking E2 to E3?
Yes.
It's a big responsibility.
Yeah.
We can't give out too many responsibilities. Take out the trash and, go get new batteries for the clock.
Don't say it like that. Don't do this.
I have a problem with you having a problem with my accent.
Accent, motherfucker. We're from the same place.
New batteries.
New batteries.
New batteries. So they decide that obviously they're going to hold her back a little bit, let her mature a little bit before she takes on these additional responsibilities of being an E3, right? So instead of doing the proper thing, which is having a feedback session and explaining, hey, these are the things you're doing wrong, these are the things you're doing right, this is your way forward so you can get promoted, they just decide to kind of pull like an Office Space and just let nature take its course, with Milton, that kind of thing.
Fix the glitch.
Yeah, exactly. So they're just like, oh, hey, I guess we're still waiting on your promotion. It looks like the guys up at the higher just haven't done the full approval yet, so we're waiting.
What a bunch of pussies.
Bunch of bitches, right? So...
Because, one of the responsibilities of being upper enlisted is to, deliver bad news, but
right.
Offer feedback and counseling and mentorship.
But this
just like firing somebody, like we like to avoid all these kinds of like confrontations.
Just stop paying them until they stop coming in.
Exactly.
Generally wait till a Friday.
Exactly. So that's what they did. They just kind of just kept stringing her along, be like, oh, hey, that's crazy. Like weeks would go by and she would continue to ask like, hey, where's my promotion? And that kind of thing. They're just like, oh, I guess it's still messed up again, right? Well, after about 6-7 weeks of this, she decides to take matters into her own hands. So she goes over to the base exchange, which is basically like a 7-Eleven, but you can get uniform items and stuff like that. You got your Lickies and Chewies and stuff like that. So she went over and bought herself E3 rank. Went over to the tailor, had it sewn on. She marches her happy ass up to finance and say, hey, I have been promoted, but I'm not getting paid for my promotion yet. So I would like you guys to go ahead and change that. Well, all of these things sound like they're pretty, in line with what you might do if you were, just somebody that was, taking the initiative, right? The problem is it's not so simple. Like you don't just show up there as an E2 and say, hey, promote me, or even like an E3 in disguise.
You can't just manifest your promotion and it'll come to fruition.
Well, check this out.
Mercury was in retrograde, right? So.
Exactly. So the first thing they do is call up the command and say, hey, we've got Airman so-and-so over here. And she says that she's not getting paid for her promotion. So we're just going to need the promotion order so that way everything can be, in line. And they're like, well, she's not being promoted.
Sounds like she's ready for E4.
Like, we're actually not promoting her. So this takes something that could have been avoided by like a simple feedback session and then blows it into this big catastrophe because they're like, so she's over there right now trying to promote herself?
Oh, she involved other agencies now.
Yes.
Smart,
like,
actually.
Oh, no. So they're like, okay, well, don't promote her. Send her back over here, and we'll have her talk to the first sergeant, right?
But they don't. They just have her come back.
Yeah, they said they're going to work on it.
Everybody goes out to lunch, and like, oh, what? That's crazy. Like, look at that. Look at this.
We sent him the order. I don't know.
We want to keep the ruse going here. So this did precipitate a little bit more of feedback, and they had to kind of say, hey, actually, we don't have any intention of promoting you because of X, Y, and Z. And now you're in trouble for trying to promote yourself.
God, Jesus Christ.
And
these pussies are in charge of handling troops in wartime.
Yeah.
In theory.
Cucks.
These cucks that are scared of confrontation.
I don't want to be mean.
Yeah.
Right?
What the fuck?
Yeah. So I love that story. I thought it was just here's the thing. Like they do condition people to take the initiative and go ahead and make stuff happen. So if from your perspective, like you don't have a lot of history in the military. So you're thinking like, well, hey, if the higher ups are just screwing up the paperwork. Let me go try to straighten it out.
I'm completely on her side on this one. If they're playing fuck games with you and, I don't know what happened to all the paperwork. It must be in the ceiling,
One guy.
Oh, my God. This could be that guy.
He sent the order.
Right in the fucking ceiling tiles.
But there's no faster way to get a problem resolved than have another shop call your shop to verify information.
Like, hey, this is kind of strange.
And then they find out you had zero fucking intention of ever doing it and you've just been pulling her chain.
But this young lady goes down in history for being a fucking legend for trying to just promote herself.
Hell yeah.
That alone deserves the E3 promotion. She's ready.
I agree.
Make shit fucking happen.
Right.
Hey, thanks for checking out the Cammo Comedy Show Podcast. We got a fundraiser going on right now, so if you like what we're doing here and want to keep us rolling, consider making a contribution. We'll put a link in the description. Also, we had some fun animations made up for this fundraiser, so we'll put links for those in the description as well if you want to just check those out. Also, don't forget to tell a friend about us if you love what we're doing here. Word-of-mouth advertising is very powerful, and we really appreciate you for helping us out. If you've got any funny military stories of your own or know somebody who does, drop us a voicemail at area code 531-222-6146. Also, we've got an email open. That's stories@cammocomedy.com. That's stories, STORIES, at CAMMOCOMEDY.com. We'll have a lot more fun announcements coming soon, so stay tuned. All right, I'm going to go microwave a croissant. Later.
Shut the fuck up.
This is going to be some really good outtakes.
It's the Twilight Bark.
Don't fucking look at me like that.
Dalmatian puppies? Stolen.
Is that from that Dalmatians movie?
Yeah. Have you never seen 101 Dalmatians?
I've seen it. I saw it as a kid, though.
Well, it's good.
I can't work under these conditions.
Well, I'll double your paycheck.
Now he'll start cupping the balls.
Do I get on that Little Caesars plan?
It'll be hot and ready.
That's so good.
But the pizza will be cold.
Just as cheesy, though.
Taking singles to the strip club. Half singles, that
Hell
is.
yeah.
Lifting your sack is like opening a grilled cheese.
Hot grilled cheese. So,
Have bolt. There's a fly right in front of my face.
that's cool.
They're
That was like from a cartoon.
anyways.
I also imagine Tosswinkle twins. That should be like a 2-person show. I'd go see that. Especially if they were like waving their dong around in the audience.
That was good.